Hello and welcome to Trending Peoria. Samantha, we are so excited to have you here today. Before we go too far, can you share just a little bit about yourself and your role here in Peoria Unified?
Okay, hi, I'm Samantha Gosney. Thanks for having me here. My role here is a second grade teacher. This is my first year in Peoria, and I'm really loving it. So.
Wonderful. And I know there are all different pathways people have to becoming a teacher. How did you become a teacher and decide that this was the pathway for you?
So what really got me into this career was I took a little bit of time off from school because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And so as I was researching different careers, I came across teaching, and I thought to myself, wow, a lot of teachers that I had made a huge difference in my life. As a student in elementary years, I didn't do the best. School was always a little bit of a struggle for me. I didn't get the best grades. I felt like I had to work harder than everybody else, and I had a negative relationship with school. It wasn't until I had a teacher that really believed in me, changed my mindset, taught me that growth mindset, and that's what changed my opinion of school. It didn't become such a drag to go anymore because I knew that there was somebody there that knew I could do it, that believed in me. And I figured, why can't I use those abilities that I was given to help another kid?
Absolutely. I think everyone has that teacher in their lives, whether it was someone in elementary school or high school or even in college, that kind of took that time and invested in them and made them love school. Could you share who that teacher was to you?
My teacher is in seventh grade. I had a teacher named Miss Robertson Tate. She totally changed my whole view of school. She kind of sat me down and was like, "All right, you're about to go into high school. Let's see how we can change your thought process around." And as she did, I knew that I had somebody that supported me every single day. So that was her.
Absolutely. And so what do you do? I know for myself personally, I try to, in my job, even though I am not a teacher, try to do some of those things to still make that teacher proud every day. Or is there anything that she did when she was your teacher that you try to model in the classroom for your students?
Yeah, something that she did was make those outside of school connections. She would ask me, what do I like to do outside of school? What's your family like? Things like that. And so I take that into my kids in my class. I want to get to know them on outside of their reading level. I want to know what they're like. I want to know what they enjoy doing. I feel that it helps us connect on a deeper level.
Absolutely. And some of those things too, where if you find out a kid really loves dinosaurs, I have a nephew who very much so loves dinosaurs. And so when he's struggled with reading in the past, having that connection with his teacher where it's like, well, why don't we read this book about dinosaurs? Or why don't we do this thing? You can kind of pivot and make those personalized learning opportunities for kids.
Yes.
And so for you, you're a first-year teacher. What are some of the things that have been a huge support for you this school year?
A huge support for me has been my team. My team has been like my rock during this. I've been so lucky to have them. Without them, I don't know if I could have survived. Also really lucky to have an amazing instructional coach here. Any question that I have, she is right there for me. She gives me as many resources that I need. And just having a community, that is what has really been my support through this first year.
And so I know we're in February, basically March. You're almost through your first year. If you had advice for someone who is thinking about starting their first year in teaching, they're about done with college, they're maybe doing student teaching right now, what advice that maybe you received this year would you give to someone else?
Advice that I received this year that really helped to take like a load off of me was that it's okay to make mistakes. Like, you're not expected to be perfect. You might feel like that, but nobody is expecting that of you. As long as you come in every day with a fresh attitude, a fresh start, and give your absolute best, you're doing amazing. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't be afraid to reach out either.
Absolutely. And I know you talked about how you have your team and your instructional coach here who help. There's some of those people you can reach out to. When you reach out to your instructional coach, what are some of those pieces of support she provides? Is it, how to help with this lesson, or what does that look like when you guys work together?
So as we work together, she gives me examples that she's done in class herself when she was a teacher. She gives me other examples that she's seen other teachers do. So she'll give me physical worksheets that I can use with my students. She gives me real life examples of what it should look like. She'll get up and actually show me what I should sound like, what I should be saying, things like that. She gives me actual things that I can use.
And that's a huge help, I know, for all of our new teachers to be able to do that. Prior to the start of school, were you able to attend new teacher orientation too?
Yes, I was. Yes, I did attend that, and that was very helpful too, connecting with all new teachers. It made us feel more as like a team. And then we had our amazing instructors that were giving us just awesome advice that really set us up for especially that first week at school.
Yeah. Can you share for people who don't know or haven't experienced it yet themselves what that new teacher orientation looks like?
Yeah, so the new teacher orientation was at one of our local high schools. We went there for, I think it was a 4-day like seminar type thing. We were broken up into groups, and there was about 5 to 6 different either instructional coach or teachers that were there, and it was so nice. My specific groups had us broken up into small groups, so we would rotate at different tables, and they would just be spilling advice. They would be teaching us how to navigate the Peoria portal, everything that we need, how to take attendance, things like that, what to expect in the class. Those were the things that they were giving us during that time, which was so helpful.
Absolutely. And one thing I appreciate, again, because I am not a teacher, every time I go to a professional development offered by one of our coaches, they're also always modeling like that good quality instruction. So you can take notes on some of their classroom management tips or things like that as well. Yeah. And so also as a new teacher, what's one of the areas you feel you've grown the most in this school year?
The areas I grew the most this far is staying organized. I mean, that is like probably another really good tip. You have to stay organized. I didn't start the year off with like a planner, and I got one in about like 6 or 7 weeks in. It changed everything for me. So now I can see what is expected of me every day, what I need to get done. That has been my biggest growth, where I've noticed that if I'm staying more organized, my classes run a lot smoother too.
Absolutely. And I know also, kind of speaking about looking back at your first year so far, there are so many, and just like our students have those aha moments or those moments where it all starts to click for them. What are some of those moments where either you've witnessed it through the eyes of a student or you yourself have had it where you've just felt like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I love being a teacher.
I've had honestly more moments than I can count. That's what makes this job all worth it. Moments when you're sitting with a kid and you've been reading the same book maybe for a couple days, and then that moment when they realize they just read the entire book by themselves, it's like they look at you and they're like excited, and you look at them, and you both like share this moment of like, I did that, and they realize that they did that because you helped them do it. That aha moment it's priceless.
I know at the top of the episode you shared a little bit about maybe a non-traditional way to becoming a teacher. Can you share what that was like for you and how you found teaching as your passion?
Yeah, so teaching wasn't always my priority. At first, I thought I was going to be a nurse. I went through a prereqs for nursing. And once I got to the end of that, I realized, this isn't for me. So I took some time off of school and I started researching different careers. And when teaching popped up, I started thinking about like, how did my teachers affect me? And so once I realized how much of an impact they had on me and who I was becoming, I realized I should do that. That's what I should do. And so as I started researching, I came across Arizona Teachers Academy, which is a wonderful, amazing program that offers free education to students who are pursuing an education career. It was amazing. They paid for my schooling. The requirement was that I needed to teach in an Arizona public school upon graduating, and that was a no-brainer because that's what I wanted to do. So that is how I ended up with the Arizona Teachers Academy.
Wonderful. And I know also you shared before we started recording that part of the reason you ended up in Peoria is because you grew up here. Can you share how that has been for you coming back to a school district, even though you're not at your high school or anything like that directly, but you're still kind of in that same system? What was that like for you?
Yeah. For high school, I went to Kellis. So when I think back on my time at Kellis, I remember how organized everything was. I remember that there was so many events. There were so many sports. The teachers were great. So that stuck out to me when I was thinking about what school that I wanted to go to, which district did I want to be in. I thought about my time at Peoria District, and it was a no-brainer. Like, I knew that would be a great school to start at. And so that's what helped me get here.
Absolutely. And then you got to student teach right here at Sundance. What was your student teaching experience like?
My student teaching experience was amazing. I was with Christina Waters. She embodies what an amazing teacher is. She is kind, she is helpful, she is patient. And having her there taught me so much. And so I got to see, like, really be inside of Peoria School District on the other side of it, not as a teacher, not as a student, as the teacher. And I saw the exact same things that I noticed in Kellis, the same things here. It was organized. It was well put together. There was events for the kids to do. So that's what helped me know that this was going to be my choice.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I know, especially in teaching, it is a hard job sometimes, and that's a little bit of an understatement. What are some of those things that at the end of a hard day, they remind you why you love this work, and are kind of those places where you go to ground yourself again and prepare for the next day?
Yeah, so like you were saying, it is a tough job. It does take a lot out of you mentally and physically, but those things that bring me back is I think to myself, what other job am I going to have where there are 22 kids in my classroom that think I am just the best person ever. They love me, and I build that relationship with them, and knowing that I'm making such a difference in their life and that they can see that and I can see the changes that they're making is what pulls me back every single time. So that's a pretty big reason of why I keep coming back. It truly is the students.
Absolutely. And then before I let you go, one last question. If there is anyone out there listening who has maybe that start of an idea of I want to be a teacher, but I am not sure where to start, or I'm not sure if this is right for me, what would you tell that person?
I would tell them that this is a career that is worth taking the risk for. There is a lot of different sayings about education and becoming a teacher, but if you feel it in your heart, you have a calling for it, and you are going to do amazing. As long as you can show up and give your best every single day, you are going to be changing so many lives, and it's something that is worth doing.
Wonderful. Samantha, thank you so much, A, for everything you do on behalf of our students every day, but B, just taking time out of your afternoon to meet with us and talk a little bit about what your experience has been like as a new teacher here in Peoria Unified.
Of course. Thank you for having me.